Kyur, Virtual Channel 13 VHF Digital Channel 12 is an ABC-affiliated television station licensed to Anchorage, Alaska, United States. The station is owned by Vision Alaska LLC, Coastal Television Broadcasting Company LLC, which owns Fox affiliate KTVY Channel 4, operates Kyur under joint sales and shared services agreements JSA/SSA. The two stations share studios on East Tudor Road in Anchorage. Kyur's transmitter is located in the Matanuska-Susitna borough. On cable, the station is available on GCI Channel 13 and in high definition on digital Channel 653. It is also carried on DirecTV and Dish Network in the Anchorage television market. Some of Kyur's programming is broadcast to rural communities via low-power translators through the Alaska Rural Communications Service ARCS. Kyur is the flagship station of a trio of ABC and digital CW affiliates covering Alaska under the Your Alaska Link brand, which also includes Ketton in Fairbanks and Kajud in Juneau. History. Kyur signed on the air on October 31, 1967, as KAR TV. It was the third television station in Anchorage, after KTVA Channel 11 and Kenny TV Channel 2, now Kato TV. The station was launched by Sourdough Broadcasters, a company headed by Willie's R. Bill Harpel, one of Alaska's broadcasting pioneers. Harpel began his broadcasting career in the early 1940s at Anchorage radio station KFQD and was previously the owner of radio stations in Ellensburg and Mercer Island, Washington. Prior to the launch of the television station, he started Anchorage radio stations KAR AIM in 1961 and KAR FM, now KBRJ, in 1966. A short time after the television station signed on the air, on January 13, 1968, Harpel died in a snowmobile accident near Girdwood, south of Anchorage. He was 46 years old. His widow, Patricia, took over the reins at a time when the station's future was uncertain. For its first 3+ years on the air, KAR was unable to obtain a network affiliation, forcing it to operate as an independent station. Finally, in 1970, it took the NBC affiliation from Kenny. Patricia Harpel became sole owner of Sourdough Broadcasters at around the same time. KAR swapped affiliations with Kenny a year later and joined ABC. That same year, it changed its call letters to KEMO. In 1972, KEMO opened its own taping facility in Seattle so it could tape ABC shows directly off the network feed of Seattle's KOMO TV. The station brought Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and some other PBS programs to Anchorage in the early 1970s, before CACM signed on in 1975. The station had the top local newscasts in Anchorage from 1977 until 1986, when it was surpassed by Kato. In 1995, owner Smith Media bought Kajud in Juneau. Having bought Fairbanks Ketton a decade earlier, Smith merged all three of Alaska's ABC affiliates into the Alaska's Superstation network, with KEMO as the flagship station. Smith sold KEMO and the remainder of the ABC Alaska's Superstation system to Vision Alaska LLC in 2010. When the sale was completed, on May 13, 2010, Coastal Television Broadcasting Company LLC, which owns Fox affiliate KTVY, entered into joint sales and shared services agreements with Vision Alaska to operate Kyur. On January 1, 2011, KEMO changed its call letters to Kyur, and all of the stations were co-branded as Your Alaska Link. In April 2020, as a result of impending economic concerns caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, Kyur and KTVY announced plans to outsource its news production to the National News Net service, which began operations 1 year earlier. All of the station's newscasts outside of prime time, including Good Day Alaska, were canceled, and the majority of the local staff were laid off. By the end of the month, both of these newscasts were temporarily branded as NewsNet Alaska, featuring a brief local news segment produced in Anchorage, with the rest of the broadcast utilizing the NewsNet national feed produced out of Cadillac, Michigan. Despite the reduction in local news, Kyur and KTVY have opted to use the NewsNet national branding more often in their broadcasts. Digital television. Digital channels. The station's digital signal is multiplexed to analog to digital conversion. Kyur shut down its analog signal over VHF channel 13 on June 12, 2009, the official date on which full-power television stations in the United States transitioned from analog to digital broadcasts under federal mandate. The station's digital signal remained on its pre-transition VHF channel 12. Through the use of SIP, digital television receivers display the station's virtual channel as its former VHF analog channel 13. Sports programming. Kyur and its sister stations are affiliated with the television network of the NFL Green Bay Packers. The station carries the network's preseason games and surrounding in-season programming, including its Tuesday night game recap and Wednesday night coaches show originating from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Notable former on-air staff: John Sable, sports director 1997-2000, later worked at ESPN Radio for nearly a decade. Kathy Tebo Sharp, weather anchor 1980s, Miss Alaska in 1976.